I hope you watched the CNBC 3-hour presentation by Warren Buffett in Japan. And I also hope you watched my yesterday video in which I showed you my interpretation, my first interpretation of that video and how important I thought it was and how we can learn so much from it. I want this video, though, to be more focused on the first hour. What was he telling the world and what can we learn from it in order to make better investment decisions? To give you something of an overview, he recognized some 5 years ago that the United States was in jeopardy of being over-dependent on China, and we would put all our manufacturing dependence on China, and we needed to change. This was everything from the small mom-and-pop Shopify store to major manufacturers like Apple. But Warren recognized a solution, and he went to pursue it, and he explained it to me just the other day. Now I want to share my vision that I am willing to say less than 5% of the viewers understood. Let's get into it.
Best of Us Investors presents Kerry Griegmeyer.
This is Warren's solution to the free world's supply chain problem as a result of being dependent on China and our unstable relationship. Think about the blackmail that China could level on us if they said, no, we're shutting down all the production in China and we're not supplying the mom and pop fashion outlet in the United States, and we're shutting them down because we're not shipping anything to you. Warren understood this 5 years ago, and he said, I need to find a solution. Warren was not there on CNBC speaking to you and I, or as far as that goes, institutional investors. No, he was there making a presentation to the mom and pop as well as the large manufacturers of the free world that says, I have a solution for your supply chain problem. And it comes in the form of 5 companies. I have worked with these 5 companies since August of 2019, and I have built a relationship with them. I understand their position, and I am here to endorse them. That's what he was doing. There are only 2 people that could have come to CNBC and said, I want a 3-hour segment on your show, and you're going to have to fly Becky Quick and your production team to China, probably at your expense, in order to get that 3 hours. Only Warren and Carl Icahn could have made such a demand. So in August of 2019, Warren put a 5% stake into these 5 companies. I'm going to try to pronounce them, so bear with me. Itochuam, Maruberani, Mitsubishi, I know. Mitsui, I can pronounce. Some Itomo, you get it. He went and found these 5 companies, and he bought, as I say, 5% stake in them. Subsequently, he has added a new 2.5% stake in them, and he has promised them that on his own, he would not acquire more than 9.9% ownership in their companies. And from that point on, if he did take any more ownership and they were interested in him taking more ownership, he was more than willing to do. And he had whatever amount of money they needed to make their needs. Now, why would he say that? It's because he knows that these companies are going to now come to the attention of small manufacturers throughout the free world, and they're going to look into them. Warren was not there to talk to you and me or to institutional investors. In fact, they are all over-the-counter, thinly traded stocks here on the U.S. market. They are substantial stocks in Japan. Now, how has that worked out for him? Let's look at this chart. It takes you back to August of 2019, and what I'm showing you is how they have fared since Warren made his investment in them compared to the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is that middle line. You can see all but one of them has outperformed the S&P 500 and has done quite well for Warren. What will happen now is these companies will leverage that at national or international exposure that they got on CNBC to the manufacturing free world. And as a result, Warren's also there, you have to understand, for his own motives. His shareholders will benefit as these companies will grow as the immediate today available suppliers from everything from a mom and pop Shopify store to Apple. Yes, all the way up. These are ready and willing suppliers to you who are making a product in Paducah, Kentucky, and you're selling it through Shopify or some other online store, but you are dependent on China for your supplies, whether it be textiles and women's fashion or shoes or whatever. Warren just gave you a source that you can go to and you can replace your China dependency. Now, how did this happen? Well, if you'll read Peter Zion's book, The End of the World is Just the Beginning, and find the section on Japan, you'll learn that Japan had a huge demographic problem before any other country in the nation. And they recognized, because of their small and island-like environment, they did not have young people. If you lived in Japan and you lived in a 200 square foot apartment, you were only going to have one child. And so with that in mind, they did not replace their population. Although, if you remember, like I do, they are tremendous producers of quality products. The first Sony electronic recording machines came from them. The first Toyotas, Hondas that changed our auto industry came from Japan. But what they recognized they needed to do was find sources where they could manufacture these. They could create the product idea, but the manufacturing is done in smaller, friendly Asian and African countries. So now we look at it today and say Japan is the perfect, ready and able supplier to take away our dependence on China. And Warren recognized this before anyone else and basically laid out to you and I and the rest of the free world and said, I'll go create the establishment. I'll do the legwork. I'll do the research and development and work with these countries, and then I'll give you them my blessing. That's what you saw earlier this week on CNBC. He was giving them his blessing. They will now leverage that for the purpose of expanding their business. Understand the timing as well. In the first week of May, Warren is going to hold his national meeting for Berkshire Hathaway. These companies will be there at his display, at his grand event, selling their wares. And if you don't think they aren't going to be leveraging that 3-hour session on CNBC, that we have Warren's blessing as your new supplier, that was genius. Do not think any element of this was just a happenstance for Warren to sit down with his cute friend Becky Quick. So what did I do? I said, I've got to learn what these 5 companies that I can't pronounce their names are, that are sold on the over-the-counter market, that are thinly traded. So I went to Seeking Alpha and I searched each one of them. Here is just a look at how I went about it on one of them. This is where I do my due diligence on all 5 of the stocks, and I chose Sumitomo. And what you'll see on Seeking Alpha is you've got a history of the past year. It's been up 12.78%. And most importantly, you can go down here and it tells you what they do. And it tells you that Sumitomo Corporation engages in general trading and business worldwide. It operates through 6 segments: metal products, transportation, construction systems, infrastructure, medical, digital, living-related and real estate, and mineral resources, energies, chemicals, and electronics. In essence, what they're saying is they are a conglomerate that can put you in contact with the manufacturing facilities if you have any needs for any of these kinds of products offshore. So I look at this and say I'm a car manufacturing parts that supplies General Motors, Fords, and whomever here in the United States, and I offshore my manufacturing to China, and I'm now in jeopardy. This Sumitomo might be a good substitute in the future that takes me out of the jeopardy of China. And Warren Buffett has spent the last year and a half working with them, and they give me an alternative. This is a place to start. I've done this on Seeking Alpha with all 5 of them, and I have created a PDF that shares with you exactly what each of these companies do and how I see them fitting into the future manufacturers to replace the risk that is there in China. So what am I doing? I'm buying. I right now have an order in for all 5 of them to take a substantial position. Is this a get-rich-quick scheme? No. This is a core holding that I will hold in my portfolio and will benefit as we make this transition from into the new world is just beginning. And Warren just gave you a direction how to profit from this, the end of the old world and the beginning of the new world. So that's my takeaway from the first hour of my 3 hours with Warren Buffett. Tomorrow, I'm going to do a video in which I answer the question, why is Warren Buffett taking a heavy position in Paramount? Understand, when Becky Quick asked him that question, his first comment before he answered her, he basically said, the streaming business is not a good business. So why is Warren Buffett taking such a heavy position in Paramount? I think I know why, and I'll share that with you tomorrow. This is Best of Us Investors. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to take advantage of my gift from God. And that is, he basically said, Kerry, you can't read because you're dyslexic. You're not big enough to be the pro football player that you wanted to be. But what you can do, Kerry, is connect the dots. You can watch a 3-hour program on CNBC and then go to bed at night and wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and say, wow. That's what that was all about. And then as you dig deeper into it, you can say, I now understand Warren was not there to talk to me. Warren was there to talk to Mom and Pop and Tim Cook. You need to correct your supply chain. I've done all the legwork. These are the companies that can help you get out of this predicament you find yourself in. That's what I'm all about. That's what I want to do for you. What can you do for me? You can like this video. You can share it with your friends who you want to help make wealthy. You can ring the bell, and then you can subscribe to my channel. I'll talk to you again tomorrow, I'm quite sure.